All right, you all requested that I provide you a study guide to look over for the weekend, um, and for a video so you can have the answers and that you know what you're supposed to be doing and know you're doing it correctly. So here is this video. Again, please make sure that you complete the study guide before you watch the video and that you know what you're doing so that when you walk in the classroom on Tuesday, you're ready for the test. All right, so we're going to solve each proportion first. Remember that cross multiplication is our friend here. So n times 7 would be 7n, and then 8 times 3 is 24. And we'll just divide 7. So n will be 24 divided 7, which we can, let's round that to just 3.4. That'll be fine. All right. So 2 times 3 is 6 equals b plus 7 all times 10. So that would, we write this as a distribution problem. Now we'll distribute. So 6 equals 10b plus 70. Subtract 70. 6 minus 7. Negative 64 equals 10b divided by 10. So b should be negative 6.4. I'm just checking something real quick. Yep, that's right. Okay. I didn't trust the answer I got, so I had to double check. Can't figure out with my calculator. All right, same thing. 10 is multiplied with all of these, so 10 times all of n plus 9 equals n times 4, which is 4n. So we'll distribute 10n plus 90 equals 4n. Since we already have the n over here, let's actually move the bigger one. Not something I normally do, but it's less work. 90 equals negative 6n. Divide negative 6. I think n is negative 15, so let's see. Yep. So there we go. Scoot this up a little bit. Okay, so state if the polygons are similar. So to determine similarity, remember, you must check that all the angles are congruent and that all the sides are proportional. Okay, if any one of those things is off or incorrect, then we cannot say they're similar. So notice that every corner has 90-degree angles, so all the angles are congruent. Now we got to start matching up sides. And so we got two different rectangles here. So notice that 25s are the smallest in the smaller rectangle, and then 42 are the smallest in the bigger one. So those are going to go together. So 25 over 42. Does that reduce at all? Let's see. No, it doesn't, so that's going to stop right there. The other one is going to be 35s with the 48s. And I don't think that reduces either, but it doesn't matter because clearly these fractions are not the same. They are not proportional. So this is not similar. Because the sides are not proportional. This does not equal this. All right, so same thing on this one. The bottom angles in your trapezoids are congruent along with the top angles. So all the angles are congruent. We're good there. Let's start with the smallest side is 16.4, and then we have 4.1, 16.4 over 4.1. What does that reduce to? Hey, that turns into 4. We had another pair, so I'm not going to match those. The medium sides are 20 and 5. So 20 over 5. Hey, look at that. We get 4 again. And then 32 and 8. That's 4 again. And so these are similar, because all the angles were congruent and all the sides are proportional. Alrighty, let's move on. Alright, so the polygons in each pair are similar, so they are similar, so we don't have to check anything. Find the scale factor of the smaller to the larger. So we're going from small to big. And we probably want to verify a couple of times. So notice that in the small triangle, we know 3 sides. Or not triangle, sorry, a polygon. In the bigger polygon, we only know 2. So let's just pick a matching pair. Let's go from 21 to 28. So 21 over 28, what does that reduce to? That turns into 3/4. And now because I want a ratio, I want you to write it like you did middle school. That way. Okay? And they told us they're similar, so we only have to check one pair. We could check that pair or the 9 or the 12. Can't use 15 because there's no corresponding side. All right, same thing. Let's just pick a side, 30 and 25. So you might be tempted to write it 30 over 25, but remember the directions. We have to go from the smaller to the bigger. So 25 is on the smaller polygon. So 25 over 30 is 5 over 6. And so we write that as 5, 2, 6. Okay. Okay, solve for x. They are similar, so I like to find where x is at first. 3x, and it's in the same side as on the smaller polygon marked as 30. So I'm going to do 3x over 30 equals, and then I need another pair of matching sides, corresponding. So I have another 30 here, but I have nothing that's in its spot. So I know I have to use 48 and 40. Cross multiply. 3x times 40 is 120x equals 30 times 48, which is 1,440. We'll divide that by 120. So x, whoops, you can't see that. I'm sorry. So divide 1,440 by 120, and we got 12. Okay. Move on. I like to find where x is at first. It's right here, and that is in the same position as the 42 in the bigger triangle or polygon. And I like to put my x on top. I mean, you honestly could put it on the bottom if you wanted to. I just prefer it on top. Now notice here, they gave you 15 and 18 up here corresponding, and the other 15 and 18. So it really doesn't matter which one you use. But since we started with 4x plus 11, we have to start with 15. All right, cross multiply. This time you're going to write it like a distribution problem. 42 times 15 is 630. Now we'll distribute. So 18 times 4 is 72. 18 times 11 is going to give us 198. I think. Yep. Now we'll subtract 198. 72x equals 630 minus 198. We get 432. Now we'll divide 72. So x is going to equal 6. You're probably sick of cross multiplication by now, but that's a lot of what similarity is. Luckily, it's easy. All right, so now we're into specific triangles. And so remember, we have to use the 3 theorems to prove similarity. Remember, you have angle, angle, side, angle, side, 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 side. Okay, so those are the 3 options you have. So we have to determine if they're similar. If they are, state how you know. So we're only going to state how we know. So looking at what was given to me, I notice I have a 71 and a 71. And that 71 is between 2 sides. So based on what's written, they're trying to get you to use side, angle, side, similarity. So we have to see if we can build that acronym. We already have the A. So now let's check our sides. So if we start with 9, that's the smaller of the 2. And so in the bigger triangle, 90 is smaller. So I'm just going to do 9 over 90. If you want to do 90 over 9, that's fine. 9 divided 90 is going to be 1 over 10. And if I check the other pair of sides, that's 10 over 100, which is also 1 over 10. And so we've checked both pairs of sides are proportional. And so these are similar. Side, angle, side, similarity. Okay? Looking at what was given, we know all 3 pairs of sides, so they are trying to get you to use side, side, side similarity. So let's try and build it. I like to start with the smallest. That's 8, and looking in the big one, that would be 24. So I'm going to do 8 over 24 equals 1/3. Medium is 11. Medium is 33. So 11 over 33. That also reduces to 1/3. So it looks like we're getting there. And then finally 13 goes with 39. And look, that also reduces to 1/3. So we have checked all 3 pairs of sides off. And so we say these are similar. Side, 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 similarity. All right, this problem. Notice that they gave you two actual angle measures. And so we need to use the fact that all three angles add up to 180 to find this third one. Okay? And we know that whatever this is, it will also be this one. Actually, you know what? We don't have to. Remember I told you anytime you see an X shape and you know you have vertical angles, go ahead and mark them. You may not use them, but it may not help you, but I want you to go ahead and mark them. And in this case, it helps us because we know that we could find angle A, like I was saying. We could do 180 minus 97 minus 43. We could figure out that angle A right here is 40, and then we would know that this one's also 40. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter because of vertical angles, they have to be the same. And so notice that we have one pair of angles that are the same, but this one's 97 and that one's 95. And because of subtraction rules, if this is 43, because these two are different, this other angle can't be 43. So I can't get another pair of angles for angle. I can't get it to work. And so we say these are not similar. Okay? Now we'll move on. So now we know that K and E are congruent, and I see another X, so I'm going to go ahead and mark my vertical angles. There's two pairs of angles, and so we know that these are similar by angle similarity. All right. So we need to determine if these are similar first. And if they are, we need to complete the similarity statement. And so let's check if they're similar. So there's an X right here, so I know I have vertical angles. The angle is between two sides, so I'm going to try and use side angle side similarity to prove this. So if I start in the small triangle, 60 is the smaller between 60 and 84. And so in the bigger triangle, 70 is the smallest, so they go together. 60 over 70, we know that reduces to 6 over 7. Now let's check 84 and 98. So 84 over 98, that should reduce to 6 over 7. So they are similar, and you could put by side angle side similarity if you want to. Now they want us to fill in this blank, so they've started it for us. Triangle PQR is similar to the next triangle. So we have to follow the order they set for us. They said PQR. They went P to Q to R. So notice they went down the big side first, up nothing, and then down the small. So big, nothing, small. We have to keep that same order. So 84 is the biggest, so big, nothing, the small side of 60. So we're going to say triangle PLM. All right, same thing. We have an angle and two sides, so I'm going to try and use side angle side to prove it. 20 is the smallest, 24. I said it again, goodness. 20 is the smallest. It's going to go with 70. So 20 over 70, that's going to give us 2 over 7. Now we'll match 24 up with 84, and when you divide those, that should, well, maybe it won't. Let's see. Oh. Oh, sorry, I can't read. I had another problem with my calculator and I was reading it. So these matched. And so these are similar. By side angle side similarity again, if you want to say that. Now we have to finish this. So we'll draw our triangle. They said FGH. So FGH. They went down the big side, nothing, to the small side. So we got to keep that order. So 24 is the big side. So the big side, nothing, down the small. So that would be UTS. All right. If they didn't predetermine the order for you, you could write this however you want. Okay. But they determined it for you, so that's what we have to do. All right, let me scoot this up a little more. All right, now we have to solve for x, so these triangles are similar. I wished I'd paid more attention because I gave you problems that I don't really care for, but well, that's what the purpose of this video is for, so you can figure out how to do it. All right. So notice that we have this side is 9, and the whole thing is 72. Yes, that doesn't look right, but we'll go with it. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. We have a small triangle right here, and then a big triangle right here. So we need to match up our sides appropriately. And yes, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a completely different kind of problem. We're totally okay. The 9 in the small triangle, oops, can't see. The 9 in the small triangle is going to match up with the 72. And then 12 is going to match up with 20x minus 4. And so I'm going to go from small to big. So I'm going to say 9 over 72 equals 12 over 20x minus 4. But you could have gone, you could have flipped these and that would be fine. So we're going to cross multiply. Ooh, 72 times 12, that is 864. Distribute 180x minus 36 equals 864. We'll add 36. 180x equals 864 plus 36. That is 900. Divide the 180. And so x is 5. Okay? So again, 35 is in the small triangle. It's going to match up with 98. 50 is going to match up with this expression. So I'm going to do 35 over 98 equals 50 over 23x plus 2. Ooh, these numbers are big. All right, cross multiply. $50 times 98 is 4,900. Distribute 35 times 23 equals 805x plus 35 times 70. 4,900, subtract 70. 805x is 4830. Divide 805. Hopefully x is something pretty. And it is. X is 6. All right. This is just like with the polygon stuff, but I'm glad I picked these actually because it has those overlapping triangles, and so you have to know to match up the sides appropriately. All right, one front and back page left. So these three problems are about the right triangle stuff, so that you have to remember a case 1 or case 2 situation. All right, and looking at this problem, it's a case 2 because I don't know, I have not, my altitude is not marked for me. I have nothing written here. And so we know that this is a case 2 problem. And that says that leg 1 over height 1 equals height 1 over the big height. Okay, hopefully you remember that. 36 is leg 1 and 60 is height 1. So let's fill that in. Cross multiply again. 36x equals 3600. Divide 36. And x is 100. All right. Notice now on this one that the 48 is marked on the altitude. So this is a case 1 problem because we know the altitude. And so that says leg 1 over the altitude equals the altitude over leg 2. So 36 over 48 equals 48 over x. That's what we're trying to find. Cross multiply again. 48 times 48 is 2,304. Divide 36. X is 64. All right. Third one is another case 2 option because the altitude is not marked for you. Oh, sorry. My hand gets right in front of where you all see. I'm so sorry. Altitude is not marked, so it's a case 2. So 9 over 15 equals 15 over x. We're trying to find the big height. So 9x equals 225. Divide by 9. So x is in 25. Now remember, these are actually sort of the easier versions of problems, but especially on a case 1, if your x is, your variable is written right here at the altitude, you're going to end up with some problem like this. So let's say it's 36 over x equals x over 64. So when you cross multiply, you'll have x squared equals that. Then you take a square root. You only use the square root when you're trying to get rid of a square. If it's not there, don't even use it. So x is the square root of 2304, which if you type that in the calculator, you get a nice pretty answer of 48. Okay, I threw that one in for extra. All right. This is what I was thinking about earlier on that one triangle problem. This is what we covered on Friday. This is the side splitter and then they'll have the parallel lines and the angle bisector thing. And essentially, it's top over bottom. You can go down, so down, or you can go up if you wanted to. I usually prefer to go down. That's kind of how I read it. And so I would say that 9 goes with what I'm trying to find. So 9 over x equals. Now because I start with 9, I have to start with whoever's on the top down here. Well, it's not marked for me, but they told me that the entire length was 16 and this bigger portion of it's 12. So I can simply do 16 minus 12 and get that portion is 4 that I need. And then I can write 4 over 12 to solve this. Cross multiply again, so 4x equals 9 times 12 is 108. Divide 4 again. X is 27. All right. Same thing, I'm trying to find this side, so I'm going to go from 2 to that. So 2 over x equals, now they told me the short piece was 1, the whole was 5, and so 5 subtract 1 gets me the piece of 4 that I need. And then I'll say 1 over 4. Hey, this is easy. Cross multiply, you get x equals your answer. Don't you love it when it's simple? All right. Oops, can't see. All right, this is the parallel problem. Parallel lines problem. It's the same idea. We're going to go in a downish or upish direction. So I like to start up here and work my way down. So I don't know is what I'm looking for. So I would say x over 9 equals, and because I started with x, I have to start with whoever is on the top here. So that would be 10 over 6. Cross multiply, 6x equals 90. Divide 6. I think x is 15, but let me double check. Yes, it's 15. Okay. So I have both pieces over here. Notice over here, I only have the short piece, but they told me the whole thing. So I could do 24 minus 9 and get that this longer piece is 15 because I need it. Now I'm going to do 12 over x equals 9 over 15. Cross multiply. 9x equals 12 times 15, which is 180. Divide the 9. X is 20. All right, these are the angle bisector things. And so what we said to do was you look across from the bisector and you can go down or up. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to do 21 over the 12 equals, and because I did 21 to 12, I have to go in that order from 35 to the x. So 35 over x. What some kids do is they go this way. They do 35 over 21 and then x over 12. That's perfectly fine. If you think about the problem that way, go with it. That's fine. But I went with this way. I'm going to stick with that. 21x equals 12 times 35 is 420 divided by 21. And we get that x is 20. and you can't see it. All right, notice here that we have in this left-hand triangle, we have both pieces we need. In the right side, we're trying to find a side, but we don't know the other piece. And so we do 33 subtract 9 and get that this piece is 24 that we need. And now I'm going to go down that way. I'm going to go 9 over 24. Because I did 9 over 24, I have to start with the 15. So that's going to be 15 over my x. Cross multiply, 24 times 15 is 360. Divide the 9, and I get x is 40. All right, that's your study guide. So remember, if you're going to complete the study guide for extra credit, you must submit pictures of your work. And people, I need work shown. If you just give me the answers, that's probably an indication that you've copied my answers down to get bonus points. And that's not going to fly. You've got to do the work. And another thing, if your work looks exactly like mine, I mean exactly, like all the equations look the same and everything, that's going to make me a little suspicious. But please do your own work to get the bonus points, or I'm not going to give it to you. Okay? As always, if you need help, let me know.